Hey, you guys, happy Friday, and thanks for tuning in to ET Live. I'm Katie Krause, and the cast of The Honor List is all here. Sasha, Arden, Meghan. Thank you guys for spending... I love what best friends you all
I'm just making faces.
It's really awkward right now.
I love it.
Meghan, this movie was your brainchild, essentially. So now that it's out, it's available now for you guys to all watch. How does it feel? Are you overwhelmed, excited?
First one, very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's just really weird.
Yeah.
It's always felt kind of weird once it stopped just being this thing in my head, and then like these characters were real people, and then like they exceeded my expectations, and then the movie exceeded my expectations. And now it's just this like thing that we made. I got used to being comfortable with all these people who did the movie, us all knowing this story, and now I'm like, oh wait, now all these other people are gonna know, and all of that. So I think it's just like a whole other, it's like opening up a whole other world to it. So I'm just like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm dying. Like I'm just
so
like,
proud.
I have no idea what's happening.
For you guys all watching, tuning in, make sure you send your questions for these lovely ladies. I'm going to get them right here on this iPad. You said that you saw the movie, it exceeded all your expectations. Watching back the movie for you guys, same feeling?
Oh, of course. Like way more. It
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
so touching, and I think for me
Every
too,
time.
not always being there for all the scenes, it was so nice to like watch it sort of as an audience member.
Yeah.
The first time I saw the video that you did, there's just really
Oh, at the end.
Spoiler
alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. My heart was just ripped out. Like it just, it was so special. I feel like we have so many special moments in this movie that is rare.
Yeah.
This movie isn't just, I think, what people expect. It's about growth and about change and about grief, and it's really special.
Kind of give the viewers a little bit of a synopsis, because I would almost compare it to like a Now and Then or like a Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants type of movie. Would you guys?
But more girls can relate to characters instead of just
Well,
me.
there's a lot more topics that you don't generally see girls do in movies in this
Yeah.
film, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's about 4 girls who were really great friends growing up, and then by the time that they get to their senior year, we flash forward and we have no idea why they're not friends anymore. And throughout the movie, it's kind of figuring out how they've grown apart to be these super different people, but then also trying to figure out how they once were these really good friends and what happened between them.
Yeah.
And so we get to follow them at the very pivotal point of graduating high school, and kind of when things just come to a head, because you're no longer going to be around these people all the time. So it's kind of like the last time you're in that pressure cooker, and we figure out what happens then, because they come back together to do a bucket list when there's some tragedy.
What I love about it, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What I love about it too is that it's very real. I think there's a little bit of an illusion that teenagers don't go through hard things.
And that girls don't do certain things.
Right, exactly. And that's obviously false. We all go through some crazy stuff. And there's no age cap on that, you know? So I think it's really great that it's something that's realistic.
Yeah.
We go through hard things at every point in our lives. It's no secret. And to touch on that and to kind of put some light on the fact that you should be yourself and not hide it is very special. Yeah.
I also think in this industry there's like a lack of strong female characters, and we're getting to a place now where there's more and more of it. But this movie really came out ahead of that. It seems like, how important was that? I mean, it's a female crew, it's female characters, it's girl power.
Yeah, I mean, as a gender, we've been around equally as long, so I don't know why it's taken so long.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just something like the amount of, if you're not in the industry, it's hard to explain that you walk onto a set and you're lucky if there's 2 girls. And if those 2 girls aren't in makeup or hair, that's even more rare. Like if someone's miking you who's not a dude, like that's like, whoa, this is a great day. Like this is something that's so rare and different. No offense, guys. But it's just so rare and so different. And there's something that makes you more comfortable, and you can feel more vulnerable and safer when you're doing something like a movie about women needs to be made by women, because a male director can't, he can have a sister, he can have a mom, but he can't understand what it's like, and even just the way you shoot that. Like the way Patty Jenkins shot Wonder Woman. That was what wasn't shot like most of the time how male directors shoot females in movies. And you can tell, like, she's not sexualized. She's this like strong character, and that's what's so important with this too. And like I don't think there's so much stuff we did in this movie that I'm like, I don't know if we would have done if we didn't have a whole crew of women who are like, it's fine, sweetie, you're good, you're good, you're good. And so like it just feels, I don't know, it's not only that were we able to do the job with all women, I think the movie is as great as it is because of that. It wasn't like we did it in spite of only like really focusing on hiring women who like don't always get an opportunity and a chance. Like the movie did better and is a better product because of that.
Sure. There is a scene that I was wanting to ask you guys about. It's when you guys are in the high school gym and you take on these evil, mean cheerleaders. You guys actually stripped down. Was that you? Was it body doubles?
No, it was us.
It was okay.
It was
What
us.
do we call it? Oh, we can say
Can
that.
we say
right?
that?
I think we can.
Karuchi named it.
Snatch patch. There's a
snatch
thing.
patch.
I'm sure we can.
We can't. When you see us being that naked, now imagine we have to be much more naked on the day to get us looking that naked. So we had
Stick it,
and then some.
and we had some really fun
Soccer
pasties.
balls.
like soccer ball,
I
fire.
had like a fireball that was a rainbow.
Nice.
Spectacular.
Yeah. So that was
was
what we
very
had to do
happy
in
with
front
that
of
situation.
like 300 extras.
Well, talk about the significance and the importance of that as it relates to the movie.
Well, it's
a
definitely
heavy scene.
It's the fear that you would have. That was I promise you that was the scariest thing I've ever done. I've gone skydiving, I've done some really dangerous stuff, and it doesn't compare. That is
Nothing at
the
all.
scariest thing I have
We
ever
were
done.
losing our minds, like giggling uncontrollably. Like being like, I can't do it, we're gonna do it. And then Sasha just like comes over and she goes, we're gonna do it in 1, 2, 3, ready? And I was like, okay, sure.
Someone had to do it. They're like, okay, guys, come on,
got
gloves
this.
off.
How many takes was that? Like, did you have to do it multiple times?
They were very nice because it was several stages of
Yeah.
that.
Undressed.
Okay.
yeah.
So we had like nude bandeaus at first, and then we
layers
had
upon
shorts,
layers upon layers.
We were like lobsters being put into boiling water, like slowly turning it up. We're slowly
and
moving
crying.
along.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was
But
difficult.
I think it was great because we actually, what we're getting back at the cheerleaders for, we shot that scene, the really emotional, heartfelt flashback scene, like 2 days before.
Yeah.
And
It
so
was really fresh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it made it so like I was watching it, and then as I was watching the scene with like headphones on, watching them do this great scene, I was like, I can't wait to strip. Like I'm not nervous anymore. Granted, I
it made
was
it really
nervous
it
that
made
day.
it really powerful.
Yeah, because we felt like you get so heated in that you're like, no, I want to do that. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I have to.
Yeah.
Because she made me cry so hard, and I'm not a crier at all.
Sasha, why?
Oh my gosh! In that scene
Yeah.
that we had to do.
I was like, I got you.
Yeah, like laughing, and I'm like, it's not funny. It's really not funny.
I love this movie because it really shows off the acting chops. I mean, I've watched you on so many
bastards,
different things, and I know you guys on like your YouTube channels, but it really shows a depth, like a different
Thanks.
depth. So
Yeah, it was different.
to get into that mindset, what was that like?
I don't know. I think for me, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Because, I was homeschooled, so it's not like I had that gymnasium experience or that dealing with cheerleaders. I didn't have that. But, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but we deal with a lot of social pressure always. And it was just a different way of experiencing that, and it felt very real. And I mean, I was going through and still am, like a lot of weight issues and finding out, about PCOS and all of that stuff. It was very real and all in that moment. So I didn't have to try very hard. It just kind of happened.
Just yourself.
Yeah, and our extras who are in that scene, they were going through it with me. It was the same thing. They found out that day that was what they were going to work to do, which is a very scary thing.
Yeah.
And we were all kind of in it together, so it didn't feel like acting. It was very raw and emotional, and I think that's part of the reason why it came across so well on screen was because it was a real moment.
But that's why we love you, is because you've almost become this, or you have become this role model in a sense. Like you were so honest and candid on Dancing with the Stars and following that, and even here today. And I think people are learning from you.
Yeah, I mean, they're learning as I'm learning, which I
Yeah.
think is a really cool way of with using social media. It's
Yeah.
a positive way of using social media, and I feel like that's what it really should be about.
Yeah. Going back to the whole scene, was that inspired by something that happened to
The
you?
jiggle test?
Yes.
So that happened, they did it a little differently, but they did it at the college I went to, a different sorority, not the
Wait,
sorority
that's, so
I
that's
joined.
a real thing that happens?
Yeah, but they did a dance version. They also did one where they made girls sit on washing machines.
What?
And then I was like, first of all, if you sat on a washing machine, who wouldn't jiggle? Like it'd be a bad washing machine if it's not it's not cleaning your
Yeah.
clothes. So, you know what I mean? Though? Like, it would have to.
Yeah.
And so that was something that, like, it was like a fear that I had, because, like, you hear that when you're like a freshman, like, rushing
Right.
sororities, and I was like, oh my gosh, well, I can't join this one because of that thing that happened.
Right.
And then going through that and being super nervous that, like, that's gonna happen one day. So yeah, no, it was. I thankfully never had to go through that, but like I had heard all of these horror stories of girls who had, and it was so sad.
I'm shocked that is still a thing. It's 2018 that exists.
Right?
Still.
Also
Yeah.
with like butts being so in trend, I'm like, we're not allowed to jiggle, but you want us to have butts? Like, I don't know what you
Right.
expect of
Make
me.
up your mind.
Yeah.
People. Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you guys had
That's
to
true.
deal with any mean girls in Hollywood? I know you didn't go to high school, but has that been
Did you just
a
shudder?
struggle? That's yeah.
That's exactly what I did. I shuddered.
She shuddered. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I won't name names, but
We were just talking about
yeah.
the tea. No.
Of course, and I think it's actually it's all about insecurity, right? And
Exactly.
it's a projection, and you know that they're feeling so insecure about their own body and what they think that they should look like. So when they see what they think is an imperfection on somebody else, they're quick to judge you. And I think it takes a lot for someone to say it to you in person. It's easy to do it over social media.
Well, I
but
got into a fight with a troll who was attacking you a few
but
months ago. Oh, I think we both
my
did.
God.
Yes.
Megan was my pit bull. She was my guard dog. I will never
can't.
forget that.
It would just, I would, if someone said any of those
infuriating.
things to me, would not care. But I was just like,
Yeah.
it's like this visceral reaction of being like, no! Like,
Well, to anyone you care about, right? And when you
Yes.
see these words, and words
Yeah.
hurt.
Oh,
Of
Yeah,
course.
they do. I mean, I've learned to really just brush it off. You have to, but I remember Hudson being like, "Did you see what Megan posted?"
It's like,
I
it's okay, you
went
got
off.
Megan. You're all good. She's got
I
your
was like,
back.
"Oh no, what did she do?" And I was like,
I was like, you're not,
Not
gonna say
mad at it.
anything, but I will.
Yeah.
"I'm not mad at it."
Yeah, I mean, I think like it happens always, and I've fallen to like the cycle of like when you don't have like a really solid group of friends, you can kind of take because I think especially like in women, that nastiness can always be disguised as something else, and there's those like subtle digs and those subtle cut downs that they can continue on. So I found myself in like friendships with people like that, where you're like, wow, I'm in this like massive toxic friendship that's so manipulative, and it wasn't until that I was able to really get out of that cycle and make really good friends that now when people treat me badly, I'm like, no, I know what this is. I don't need you. I have nice people. Like, I don't need to accept this.
Nice people.
But like, when you're, especially here, like when like a lot of people, like, I mean, I didn't graduate college. Like a lot of us like move here young, and you don't really know anybody, and you can kind of just, you want to find that that found family and that kind of thing. So you can sacrifice that a lot.
But I feel like everyone goes through that, especially like, I mean, I moved from the Midwest 10 years ago, so I met a lot of mean people in this town. But then you get through it and you get older, and then it's so easy to spot. Like, I feel like I see it right away now.
Yep.
And it's like, when you see a mean girl, you're like, oh, she's a mean girl.
Nope.
It's okay. But
Goodbye.
now, like, it doesn't bother me as much. And I almost feel bad when I meet mean girls, because I'm like, you must be so unhappy with who you are to be exuding so much, like,
Hate.
bitterness
And so much
ja-
effort too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Like,
it takes
wow.
so much effort to be mean.
Right, it's so much
compared to
easier
just
to
be
be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. You said you moved here 10 years ago. I know that you're 32, but you
Yes.
look amazing, and you're
No,
playing high
thank
school.
you.
It's not fair. Like I'm angry. Like I'm like happy for you, but also upset.
Same.
No, but you know what's so funny is I feel like this movie, as we talk a lot about like women empowerment, it has been empowering me as well, because this whole process, like I am shocked that it like happened so quickly, but really like I was very hesitant because I love the script, I love the project, I really loved everything about the story, but I was like, oh, I'm just too old, because this business makes you feel too old. It shames you. It makes you feel like you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not tall enough, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I realized that like I've kind of been holding myself back a lot, because there's a lot of things that I've been like, oh no, I'm too old for that, or I'm not right for that. And I guess, you know, in this situation, Alyssa really Furman was like, no, let me decide that. And I believe in you, and I think you're great, and everybody knows, so don't worry, you're not like tricking anyone.
Right.
Because that was literally the first thing I said when she was like, let me just meet with you. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll meet. Because my agent was like, please just have a lunch with her.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but I'm scared.
Seems like it
now
was a
I'm
good decision
here.
though, because you guys
would've been
all
so
seem like
mad
you
if you
genuinely
No, I'm glad.
But that's the thing, like when we all first met,
Yeah.
I didn't for a second in that moment feel like out of place. But it's just funny because you put a judgment on yourself, and we're so mean to ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, we're
Honestly.
very mean and we're very hard critics. I think everybody is. And so I think when you realize you're doing that, you've got to stop.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just realizing that now this year that I'm very mean to myself. And
self-love. We all need
Yeah.
to practice it more.
totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna take some questions. They're all
Ooh.
coming in.
Ooh, okay.
Noah on YouTube says, "What was it like working with Zoe Saldana? She's one of the producers of this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she's a beautiful human, first of all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love everything about her.
She's exactly what you want her to be. You meet her in person, you're like, oh,
You're so pretty.
Yeah.
you're so pretty.
Yeah. And I loved working with her production company because they got a hold of the script. Not like that sounds like they like broke in and stole the script. Like no, like my managers had sent them the script really early on because they had started a production company and they were really focused on female stories and diverse female stories. And so immediately they were really interested and we had this meeting and the first thing they said in that, like, we love this script and we love how diverse like this cast needs to be. And I was like, great, don't change your mind because everybody's gonna wanna change their minds eventually because it's such an uphill battle to fight for.
Yeah.
And so it was so nice knowing the whole time, I'm like, I have these
our
like
back.
3 kick-ass sisters who are on my side the whole time of being like, nope, we need this, we need this, we need this. We're not changing this character because we're not going to make this person somebody else. Like, this is going to be something that all these girls can watch and relate and see a different character. Like, that could be me, that could be me, that could be me. And, like, your whole group of friends can watch it and you can all be somebody.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. Like, I could relate to Sister the Traveling Pants and all of my, like, friends in, like, high school were like, cool, so you get to be Blake Lively and us, we get to be nobody? And I was like,
You get to be Alexis Bledel.
yeah, and they're like, I don't look like her. I'm like, I know. So like that. So I think it was really nice to have that and knowing that we had
The same goal.
Right.
And ultimately, like I knew that they were not going to waver on that either, which was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole from Facebook says, Sasha.
When am I getting married?
Yes.
Very soon.
This month, right? A couple weeks.
This month, yes, a couple weeks. You'll definitely find out when you see it. I can't say too much right now, but you're gonna love it.
It's overseas
gonna love
though,
it.
right?
It is, yes.
Ireland?
It's a destination wedding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you choose that destination?
It's one of our favorite places. It's beautiful. Most of my family's in South Africa, so it's a good meeting point, and yeah.
What are you most looking forward to about being married?
I'm married to my best friend.
Yeah.
I know, I've gotten a lot of advice about how it is going to feel different, and I think what's special about that is it's like you're dating again. It's a new spark. Not that we need it, but the point is it's kind of a fun change. Oh, so cute.
I died.
He's the best, and
is.
he's my biggest supporter, and he's my rock, and he's just, he's the best person I know. So.
We can all find that, right? Like,
Yes,
He is
yes.
the best.
It's inspiring to hear you talk like
and-
that.
Oh yeah, and don't settle until you have it.
Yeah. Will these ladies be at the wedding?
They have the invite. They're busy. I don't know why we just started whispering.
I don't know.
Okay.
Low. I'm gonna have a big reception here so that everybody
Yeah.
can make it. But it's family. It's
Yeah.
all family there.
Are you guys
great.
saying your own vows?
We're gonna do it a little bit differently. My best friend is marrying us, and we've written our own set vows,
Okay.
and then we're going to do our own written vows personally with just a videographer, just the two of us, so that it's a little bit more personal. So I'm excited.
I love that. We were talking about the dress earlier. Are you going like classic, traditional, princess, sexy?
The original dress that I had in my mind was actually really sexy. It was like really,
Yes.
I remember it. It was sexy.
which I loved. And then I ended up seeing something completely opposite. It was like this ball gown, and it was off the shoulders, and it was beautiful. And that's actually where I went, and I was kind of like, it's the perfect location. Like if I'm gonna do a princess dress, that's where I'm gonna do a princess dress. So it's kind of modern, kind of princess, and the train is just, it's excessive.
Yeah. Have you guys seen pictures? Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
this one too.
Okay.
I've been sending her pictures of like random wedding Instagram accounts of like pictures. Be like, take a picture like this. Take a picture like this. There's one with champagne and like a castle in the background. Like, you got to do this one.
Yeah. Who's gonna cry first, you or Hudson?
Probably
you.
Probably me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're emotional. Like it's
He's
emotional day.
He's
Yeah.
emotional too, though. I think as soon as
you cry, he'll cry.
Yeah.
Whoever cries first, the other person
Well,
will cry because of that.
I've known my best friend for a year longer than I've known Hudson, and he's known my best friend a year longer than he's known me.
Okay.
And I have a feeling she's gonna cry first, which will make
Both of you will cry.
yeah,
Both of you.
it'll be the three of us crying. I feel
Hugging
like all
each
at
other and
once.
all crying together.
I have. It says a bad word in it, so I can't say it online. But it says keep your together. It's a handkerchief, and then everybody else has really nice, pretty things on theirs, but mine's like keep your
It's like,
keep
hey.
it together.
That's hilarious.
And I have a feeling that I will definitely need it.
Yeah. I feel like though when he sees you, that might be when he just.
Yeah, it could be. It'll be a
I'm
fun
gonna put my
surprise.
bets on that.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun surprise.
Zelia from Facebook says, "Do you guys recognize yourself in your characters or not at all?"
I mean, like, I like hate to say that I do because there are certain things that Piper would do, and I'm like, God, we're the same, and this is not an attractive quality, or like things like that. But yeah, there's definitely. I mean, having a hand in the story since the beginning, there's definitely stuff that I like personally relate to that she's going through or has gone through. But personality-wise, she's super insecure and just deflects it with pretending she doesn't care, which was high school me and current me to a T.
Yeah.
Where like high school me, I would be the first person to like pull a funny face in a photo and to make fun of myself and to like be self-deprecating so nobody could make fun of me first.
Sure.
And that's the kind of thing, like she gives off this vibe of the reason why she's popular is because she's too cool for everything and like doesn't care. But and so everyone's like, oh wow, I'm gonna be friends with this girl. Like she doesn't care about anything. Like she's so above it all. When in reality, she's like, is it working? Okay, cool. Like is trying so hard to do that, which is like, oh, that's so me. I'm like constantly pretending I'm chill, and I'm like, I'm losing it
Yeah.
all the time.
What do you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, when I first read the script, initially, like, I was like, oh my gosh, Anna's so much like me. But then she was a lot more confident than I was. And I feel like she's a lot like me now, which is a little scary because then when I watch it, it makes me feel really weird about, like we were talking about.
Oh, it's
Yeah, your YouTube
It
video.
feels really weird, especially like in that opening funeral scene because I'm like, I'm dead. Am I dead? And like my
weird for
friends
us
were
to
watching
film
it
it.
last
it was
night.
very weird. Like when we had to
Yeah.
get emotional, it wasn't hard because I'm like, all we have done is talk
at
about
photos
her
of me,
and just see giant pictures of her in like caskets, and then I'm like, is Arden okay?
Yeah, and like, yeah, and
Arden
at the
okay?
end,
Is everything okay?
I was like, I feel weird about it. Like, I love the film, but I feel very weird about it. Like, am I sick? Is my heart okay?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
don't
and, so,
say
and like,
that.
no, it was weird because all my friends watched it last night, and they
Right.
were like, we like loved the movie, but it made us feel really,
Really weird.
Yeah,
It feels
and
really
so
real.
when you do connect with your character, I think it's a little scary because then it kind of blurs that line a little. Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh wait, it's acting, guys. It's not
not
a real
really-
video.
yeah.
Everything's okay.
I definitely related to Isabella. She's also kind of same, has this really hardcore shell and pretends like she's not affected by anything. I relate to her especially as a teenager. I feel like I was definitely that way. Totally went through that punk phase, by the way. She like always had a lock, around her neck. That's what I did. I always had like locks and like stuff.
Were you
on
an
my-
emo kid?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I totally was. I was like, I was like, hey, can I get a snake bite? And my mom was like, absolutely not.
My God.
Absolutely not. Fun fact about me. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Thank goodness that she actually didn't let me. That would have been interesting. But I do definitely relate to that. I am lucky. I had a really connected, strong family, and I think that's kind of where our differences lie. But I think it's really important to see her character and how she grew independently and with these girls due to the fact that she didn't completely have her parents' support. I thought that was a really beautiful way of telling that story. So I definitely did connect to her with her struggles and with her style. But she taught me a lot too. I think it was a very pivotal moment where I started to really not be ashamed of myself, and at the same time I figured out what was going on with me. So it was a beautiful moment and definitely timely to play her. So
Yeah. Do you miss the purple hair?
kinda.
Yeah?
Yeah,
It's
because once again I wanted to dye my hair
But you never did.
and I never did.
So it's fun to
I got
play.
my moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna take a few more of these. Spoby Forever from
Aw.
YouTube says, Sasha, do you miss PLL? We miss it.
Of course,
I miss it.
Of course I do. Every time I drive by the WB too, I'm like, oh, the feels.
Yeah.
I miss our crew so much, and obviously I miss going to work and seeing everybody every day. And the good thing is I did the pilot for The Perfectionist, yeah.
Which we
So
think is going to be picked up.
We hope so. I mean, like, fingers crossed, right?
We'll know any minute.
Right, yeah, we'll know very soon.
Can somebody check their email?
Yeah. My emails, anybody,
Yeah.
Miss
Anyone?
Paul's, I don't know.
Anyone?
Which obviously I would really, really, really love to continue playing Allison. And the pilot was so fun for many reasons, but also I really loved seeing Allison's character grow. And part of it is also that you can't make me a teenager anymore.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Right.
That's a kind of a fun, terrible thing to say, but I feel like we played teenagers so much that it was really nice to kind of be this adult figure.
Right.
It was like flipping the tables. It was such an interesting perspective and way of exploring Allison's adult side and how she's dealt with this space that you haven't seen yet. And there's so much room for her to grow and for the fans to explore, which I love. And you meet these wonderful, well-rounded characters. And I think the fans will definitely, if we get the chance, fall in love with these new people and their struggles and their lifestyle. And I think you can relate to it.
Yeah.
Everybody can relate to their characters in one way or another. So I think it's really important.
In the pilot, do we see Allison as a mom with those twins?
I don't think I can reveal that. The twins are
Okay.
very awesome and they're
Okay.
But I think Marlene would get mad, and I also don't want to get fired before I start. I think that's
Well,
probably
they can't
a good
replace
idea.
you. That's the good news.
That is true. I think
Yeah.
that is the one thing that people would strike about.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of safe on that.
What about, I'm curious about this, just personally. Allison and Mona were not the best of friends, and Mona
That is
goes to
true.
Paris at the end of PLL. So how does that come to fruition, I guess?
When I read the draft that we were going to film, I cracked up in so many spots because of the way that they tie in their two characters. They kind of become allies in a way, and it's this very interesting kind of dynamic because Allison's obviously not sure if she can trust Mona. I mean, can you ever trust Mona?
No.
I don't really know. But the way that she ends up being in this new town is very mysterious, but also hilarious the way she kind of rides over these questions. And I think the fans will appreciate the mystery there. There's enough told that you know, okay, we'll find out, but a hilarious way of Mona putting it across. So yeah, it'll be good.
Any cameos from anyone in the pilot?
I cannot say that yet.
Okay, but that's not a no.
It's not a no, but it's not a yes.
Okay, I like that. What was your favorite part about the pilot?
I think obviously being with Janelle and having the familiarity with that.
Yeah.
But also just a new experience. We shot in Portland, which was great. It was my first time to Portland. And it felt new and fresh, but at the same time, it was that family vibe. I think we all gelled immediately and felt really good about it. The crew that we worked with, they filmed Grimm and Portlandia together, and so they feel really established, and we connected just so well. I felt like we had been doing 5 seasons already.
Yeah.
So I think knowing that it felt so good and so strong was kind of the best part, because I was like, yeah, I could definitely do this for, a long time.
It's gonna happen. Like, for sure it's gonna happen.
We hope so.
Is it darker than Pretty Little Liars?
I think it's definitely darker than how our first season of PLL was. I feel like it picks up from PLL kind of seamlessly. There's a 2-year gap around, yeah. And it will be darker. We'll put it that way.
Are you still teaching?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I feel very official.
Wow.
My blazers and it's very high tech in Beacon Heights, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm fancy.
And
iPads.
Yeah.
I won't
So
ask too much
fancy.
more about this, but Marlene did say that not all the perfectionists are female.
Yeah,
That's
which I
our-
also really love.
Like, yeah, how's that
Actually, yeah, I can say that.
I was gonna
Chris
say it. Like,
Mason,
when are you gonna say it?
yeah, who was in our movie, ended up being in our pilot, and I kind of freaked out.
I had so much
I freaked
FOMO.
out.
I just saw the pictures, like, I hate metal.
Did you help with that?
Hugh, who played my husband on PLL, is really good friends with Chris, and obviously I know Chris, and I also know Chris's wife. And he was like, hey, he's coming out for this role. It's like, what? I emailed our casting director, Gail, and I was like, you have to hire him immediately. And he was the last character we cast.
Wow.
And we just had a ball. So
yeah. Have you
it would
seen
be so fabulous.
the pilot?
No. What? It's not fair. I feel like, well, like the cast is usually the last people to see it before. Yeah, obviously before the fans see it, but I'm dying to see it.
What are you going to do if it does get picked up? Like, how are you going to celebrate?
I'm gonna have a dance party.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I'll probably be on a plane
Well-
to go promote it, which would be amazing. So yeah, oh my gosh, I'm over the moon if that happens.
Are you not going to be able to have a honeymoon?
Oh no, I will have. It's in my contract. I have 3.5 weeks
Yeah.
in my contract.
Yeah.
To be able to do that.
Okay. Going back to the movie a little bit, bucket list. What's on your guys' bucket list? One thing career and one thing personal over the next year.
Okay.
I can start. I've
next
answered.
year?
Oh, you can
Yeah.
start.
Oh no.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you start.
I have so many, and Karuchi's not here, so I can take some of hers too.
Yeah.
We have almost all of the same ones, except some I don't have of hers. Like she wants to learn new languages, and I was like, I'm good. I hardly know English. I think a personal one, a personal one and a career one. Personal, I like attainable things so I can like cross them off lists. Just like set my standards low. I want a puppy really badly, so like that's a bucket list item.
Okay.
Not technically. Again, I love that
Yeah,
Karuchi's
you
not
need a
here
puppy.
because she yells at me for that one. She says it's not real. She's like, that's not a bucket list thing. I'm like, yeah, it is now. She's not here. And then career-wise, I really, really, really want to be a superhero, like a Marvel movie, DC movie. But I would just love that. Ideally, Marvel, so I can be in the same universe as Michael B. Jordan. And he will just,
Michael
like,
Bay
come back to life.
Jordan. Sorry.
I love
But,
him so much. So I would just love to do that. I'm obsessed with superhero movies, and I always have been.
That's a
so like,
good one.
it's like I want it so bad. I'm
Let's
just
make it
manifesting it
happen.
into the universe.
You can make this happen.
Nice.
What about you, Arden?
Okay, personal one. I would love to travel somewhere that I haven't been, but really just to actually do a vacation. Like I don't think I've ever taken a trip that wasn't partially work related. It's always something is about work, and it's partially a work trip that I steal one day for myself. And so, yeah, maybe something
Off the grid.
Yeah. And then work-wise, I would love to do like a romantic comedy. I feel like that doesn't really happen a lot for minorities, and especially like Asian females, where it's like has nothing to do about being Asian American, but just as a human. So I think I'd love to work on a romantic comedy that's like relatable for
Yeah.
people.
Love that.
I see it.
Thanks.
Okay. I have 2 career things. Is that all right?
Yeah.
And a personal one.
No, it's not all right.
I'm writing a screenplay, and I want to finish that by the end of the year. I don't know if it'll happen, but that's what I want to do.
Oh my
I want to work with Quentin Tarantino. Bad. I don't know if that'll happen in a year. I doubt it. That's like a
That's amazing.
at some
Okay,
point
you
in
can do
my
it.
career. I hope so. And I want to cage dive with great whites, which I might be accomplishing on my honeymoon. So that'll be
Where are you guys going? You don't know?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We haven't,
Somewhere
you know,
tropical.
there's just certain things that we just don't
Yeah.
plan last minute. I'm a chill bride, guys. It's all
She
right.
is.
Yeah, you're not a bridezilla at all,
No,
which I
not
love.
at all.
Yeah.
So chill.
And we're going to wrap up, but maybe just one reason why people should go and watch this movie. It's available today on demand on iTunes.
I think people should go watch it because I think it'll surprise you. I think the trailer surprises a lot of people, and I think the movie in itself too. I don't think it's a typical thing you see from a digital release, and I also don't think it's so different for all of us. Like it's so different than anything that anyone's seen from Karuchi, and like the same thing
Oh my
from
gosh.
all of us.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll really pleasantly surprise people, and I also think that I don't know, it's like that feel good, warm, fuzzy feeling, which I usually stray very far away from. I'm like, I don't like that, but this is one that I really like. So I think I think people are actually really gonna they'll be surprised by what we made, because I think we were too.
Yeah. And I think it's relatable for everyone. There's really something for everyone, not just teenage girls, but even women and adults and families. There's a lot of things touched on that don't really, get brought up in a lot of young movies. And so it doesn't feel young to me. I feel like a lot of people who've watched it in different age ranges and genders, they've all found something, and it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Hilarious,
it's really
yeah.
funny.
All
Like,
of
I
my
feel
like
you
male
underplay
friends are,
that.
I loved it.
I know, like there are moments where you're just like, yes, and then you're dying and you're crying, but then you're laughing at the same time. So you're like, what is this feeling?
Yeah,
So,
you laugh, you cry, you grow, and I think that's what's really important. You don't realize it until the end, but you actually gain something, which is what.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you guys
thanks for
check
having
out
us.
The Honor List. It's out today on demand on iTunes,
Yes.
all the digital places. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bye.